Welcome to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute's Inside the Leader Studio. I'm Veronica Duron, Secretary of CHCI's Alumni Association and a former Public Policy Fellow in 2008 and 2009. CHCI's Inside the Leader Studio brings together today's foremost Latino leaders to discuss issues of education, leadership, and the national imperative to educate Latinos. It also focuses on CHCI's efforts to develop the next generation of Latino leaders to ensure the future success of our great nation. Joining us today is Gilberto Valdes, Vice President of Government Affairs at New York Life Insurance Company, and CHCI 2012-2013 Public Policy Fellow, Charlene Cordero, whose fellowship is directly supported by New York Life. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So I want to start with you, Charlene, and ask you, since you've been here, how has the fellowship impacted you?
Well, saying that the CHCI Public Policy Fellowship is life-changing is an understatement. Since coming to DC, I've had access to a wealth of knowledge from everywhere from the CHCI Alumni Association, from alumni like yourself, to great leaders like VP Joe Biden and ex-Miami Mayor Manny Diaz. And I am incredibly thankful to New York Life for giving me the opportunity to be in DC at such an exciting time during the election and now the beginning of the 113th Congress. So CHCI has given me a great opportunity, and I'm forever thankful for everything that I've been able to learn while being here.
Okay, and building on that, since you've been here now since August in your fellowship, has this experience changed your outlook, your future career projection?
Actually, no. If anything, it has further cemented it. I came to DC kind of knowing that I wanted to work in government and public affairs and foreign relations, and that's exactly what I've done. Another great experience has been meeting CHCI alumni that have gone on to the Foreign Service and are now working at the Department of State, which has also been one of my kind of life goals. To see how others have done it before me with the help of CHCI has further on helped me, like I said, cement my goals and know that I am on the right path.
Great. I want to go to you, Gilberto.
Sure.
Representing New York Life and being a great supporter of CHCI, why do you feel it's important to give to this program?
Well, from our perspective, that's actually a very, very easy question. And I guess there are two things that come to mind. First and foremost, the growing Hispanic population in this country sort of demands it, not only ethically but from a social and business perspective too. It makes sense to for a company like ours to invest in the education and leadership development of Hispanic youth, Hispanic college graduates, and Hispanic college attendees. It just makes perfect sense in that regard. From the other perspective, I think it also allows our Hispanic youth and students to get involved at a very high public policy level, something that they probably would never have imagined the opportunity to have. And I can't think of a better sort of environment for a young Hispanic female or male to be involved with respect to our federal government here in Congress in Washington, D.C. At the end of the day, that's where our overall public policy is set, and I think it's very, very important to have this growing Hispanic population as part of that debate and part of that forward-thinking progress.
Yeah, and from your perspective, Charlene, why do you feel it's important for companies such as New York Life to continue to give to CHCI?
Well, I think that Gilberto said it in a perfect way of sort of paying it forward and help create the new generation of Latino leaders very much with the mission of CHCI. And I know that New York Life has a great legacy of that. Actually, one of my best friends was a New York Life intern for a summer at their finance department. And it's kind of a whole full circle thing that now here I am in Washington, D.C., sponsored by that same company.
Building off of that, you mentioned...
well, I can really appreciate what Charlene is saying because, I'm thinking about my own past, and how I grew up. And I'm first generation American here in the United States, son of Cuban immigrants. And I know that growing up, when I was going to college, I couldn't have imagined having an opportunity like this, and for whatever reason that might have been back, in the 1980s at this point when I was a college student. But it's more so, just having that opportunity, being able to be in an environment with people that you consider your peers, with people that you have a lot in common with, and being able to sort of grow together. towards the leadership qualities that obviously are going to allow them to make an impact in our society, corporate America, public sector, and beyond going forward.
And now that you've had this personal experience with CHCI and its programming, what do you feel that sets apart CHCI from similar organizations?
I think it's their directed focus on a specific group of individuals. When you think about college students, for example, when we think about the fellowship specifically, or the fellowship program that Charlene is a part of, it's a very important time in their lives. They're really trying to understand and get a sense of where they want to go and what kind of impact they want to have in whatever they do in their lives. So I think when you have the opportunity to take these individuals at this significant point in time, develop certain leadership qualities, allow them to see the world from a perspective that they probably have never been able to see, especially with the experiences that you have here in Washington, D.C. I think it really better prepares them to make the impact that they envision someday. And I think that's why it's so important.
I actually really agree with that. It's more of having that guidance. A lot of us already kind of know where we want to go or what we want to do with our lives, but most of us, for whatever reason, for example, being a first generation, like Gilberto said, sometimes our parents just don't know, and we kind of are left to figure out things on our own a bit. And having kind of that person that has been there before us and now has decided to pay it forward is a great and powerful experience, and it's the best sort of learning experience because we can learn from their pitfalls and also from their successes.
Part of having success and part of really making your stamp or putting your stamp on something is believing that you have the tools, believing that you have the ability. And I think a program like CHCI really instills that more than anything else in the students and the fellows that that are part of their program. When you put them in an environment like this, when you put them in in a structure where they receive this sort of hands-on experience and guidance, I think it instills the level of confidence and belief that wow, I think I can do this too. And maybe they might not have felt that beforehand. And in fact, many of them probably haven't before they arrived here.
Well, as a former CHCI fellow myself, I know the exact experience you're going through, and everything you said is exactly correct. It gives you the structure, it gives you the network, it gives you the tools to flourish, whether you're going to be in Washington, D.C., or you want to go back to your communities and make a difference. And I know the impact that CHCI program has had on my life, and that wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. So I want to thank you both for being here today.
I've said it to many people who I've talked to about the CHCI program. I would have given anything to know that something like this existed back in the 80s. I won't give away my exact age, but I think I would have benefited greatly, and I think it would have pushed me ahead exponentially in a much more productive way at that point in time in my life. So I hope it's doing the same for these individuals too. Embrace it.
Okay, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.